This lesson is maybe a little bit more difficult, but that's good. It's a great challenge. So the topic is cities, talking about living in cities, and also maybe talking about some of the problems that you find in cities. Let's go over the vocabulary together. Repeat after me. Housing. Housing. Hospitals. Hospitals. Roads. Roads. Schools. Schools. Libraries. Libraries. Water supply. Water supply. Electricity. Electricity. Public transportation. Public transportation. Pollution. Pollution. So those are some of the vocabulary. You know, these are words that can describe cities, right? And, you know, there's also problems that you find when you live in a city. And let's read the problem vocabulary as well. Disease. Disease. Overcrowding. Overcrowding. Unaffordable housing. Unaffordable housing. Unemployment. Unemployment. Low wages. Low wages. Poor living conditions. Poor living conditions. High cost of healthcare. High cost of healthcare. Lack of nature. Lack of nature. Let's use this vocabulary to answer the questions, okay? What are some major problems in your city? You can also use the useful language down here to start the sentence. The major problems in my city are, and then just pick 2 or 3 words to complete the sentence. The major problems in my city are low wages, poor living conditions, and lack of nature. What about you? If you live in a city, what are the major problems? Why do so many people move to cities? We're going to use the vocabulary at the top and the second sentence right here. Many people move to cities because of housing, hospitals, and schools. Okay? You can just pick 2 or 3 vocabulary words here to describe your situation or your opinion. Number 3, what problems does overcrowding cause? Okay, the problems overcrowding causes are disease and poor living conditions. 4, what problems does pollution cause in cities? Pollution causes the following problems: lack of nature and, well, I don't know, nothing else, I guess. Lack of nature and maybe just basically like depression, and people feel bad and it's bad for their health. So potentially high cost of healthcare. And there's different kinds of cities, as you can see at the bottom of the page. So the biggest is a metropolis or megacity. Those are really big, like Shanghai or New York. And then you have a city, which is still big, but not as big as a megacity or a metropolis. And then a town and a village, those are really small, smaller cities. And then a countryside, it's mostly farm, not very populated. And the urban area is a place in the middle of a city with not much nature and a lot of buildings. That's called urban. Okay, example dialogue. Josie and Henry are chatting about their respective cities. So how do you like living in LA? I heard you moved there last month. LA is cool, but it has some problems. For instance, there's too much traffic and unaffordable housing. Oh yeah, I've heard about that. I also heard that LA doesn't have very good public transport. Yeah, it's not the best. What about you? I haven't talked to you since you moved to New York. Oh, New York is great, but there are some problems. For instance, there are low wages and high costs of healthcare. Ah, that's too bad. Is the mayor planning to address the issue? In LA, it seems like the politicians aren't interested in real problems. Yeah, I agree with your analysis. Well, at least we can look on the bright side and appreciate the clean water supply and electricity. Ha, you're such a positive person, eh? Well, I try. Excuse me. And did you know that a lot of cities have nicknames? So these are not necessarily idioms, kind of are, but they're like nicknames. So New York City is called the Big Apple. You can't beat the pizza in the Big Apple. New York City is the Big Apple. The Windy City is Chicago. Chicago is the Windy City. I love to visit the Windy City in the spring. You may have heard of Philadelphia. It's the city of brotherly love. She was so happy to grow up in the city of brotherly love, in Philadelphia. Which city would you rather go to? New York, Chicago, or Philadelphia? Fill in the blanks, okay? Number 1, the city suffers from because there are too many people there. What do you think? Overcrowding. The city suffers from overcrowding because there are too many people there. Number 2, it is much easier to spread in a big city, so we must get vaccinated. What do you think? It's disease. It is much easier to spread disease in a big city, so we must get vaccinated. Number 3, a huge disadvantage of city life is I really miss the trees and animals. Lack of nature. A huge disadvantage of city life is lack of nature. Number 4, unfortunately, our city has, and thus a lot of poverty. Thus means like therefore or so. And I think it's low wages. A huge disadvantage of, 4, unfortunately our city has low wages. 5, I want to move to a city with good and for my kids. What do you think are those 2 words? I want to move to a city with good schools and libraries for my kids. 6, the heavy traffic and the numerous factories cause much air pollution. The heavy traffic and the numerous factories cause much air pollution. 7, the capital city of my country has, I would never buy a house there. Unaffordable housing. The capital city of my country has unaffordable housing. And 8, if the goes out, we will have to use candles. This one is electricity. If the electricity goes out, we will have to use candles. Let's put together some of the vocabulary and phrases we learned today into one paragraph. One of the biggest problems with cities is lack of nature. I think there are a number of reasons why lack of nature is a problem. First, human beings feel stressed when they are far away from trees and animals. Trees and animals remind us that we are part of this beautiful earth. Sometimes, being in a big, artificial city can feel very stressful and unnatural. Pollution is also a big problem in cities. I think that air and water pollution are both disasters, and they are harmful for the environment and for our health. And on top of all that, cities are often too crowded. Personally, I am uncomfortable when surrounded by a lot of people. Although cities certainly have problems, the benefits include easy public transportation, good hospitals and libraries, and numerous job opportunities. There are advantages and disadvantages to living in cities. Your challenge is to use this vocabulary and talk about your city, or if you don't live in a city, talk about your opinion on a big city. Okay? Remember, maybe your city has a nickname, and talk about the problems and use these phrases. Okay? I hope you learned something new today.